Okay, grab bag. You up for a grab bag?
Always.
Always up for grab bag.
You know, it's been at least a week since we've done a grab bag, and I started getting itchy and hyperventilating and really hot flashes. Everything was coming over me.
Well, let's end that right away. Okay?
Good.
So let's start out with the Mindbenders, A Groovy Kind of Love. Got any thoughts on the Mindbenders?
Love the name, the Mindbenders. I remember when I first heard that name of that group, I said to myself, guys, you picked it. That's a good one. and you know, look at that. On the back of the record jacket, it has a Mindbenders game.
Oh yeah, there's a
puzzle
maze.
of going through the maze and how to get to the
I wonder
other
if
end.
it's solvable.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if it wasn't solvable. That would really be a Mindbender.
I think we'd have to get help. I think we'd have to get one of our wives to help us out on that, you know.
Yeah, that's probably usually a good idea.
Yeah, right.
So Groovy Kind of Love.
A good song,
Yeah, fun.
Yeah. What are some of the other hits on this?
You think there's other hits? I don't know if they had One Fine Day.
Well, we remember that song. They didn't make it, but
no.
That's
The Way You Do the Things You Do.
Well, these are all songs on Seventh Son.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Tricky Dicky.
Love is Good. You Didn't Know About Love. Don't Cry No More.
The Little Nightingale. So this is definitely a little bit of fluff.
A lot of covers, but then, you know, these original 50s, 60s bands did a lot of covers. So that's not too unusual.
And they were in the British pop chart, so a British band. Would you consider
and
them
a couple of the members had the mop hairdo. There you go.
Yeah. And would you consider this a British invasion band? Not really.
I guess but copying the Beatle haircuts and everything else and Mindbenders. Yeah, I think we have to, so big a big leap. And it looks like they're from Manchester. I mean, they're promoting it big time on the back of the album.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet.
Okay. Anyway, that's a fun one. Okay. Next up, I have a Grape Jam, which this was like inside another record or something.
Wow!
Wasn't it?
It came with a record titled "Wow," which was
wow.
all just jams.
And Grape Jam was more
this
jam?
is jam too. Yeah. But this I see has Michael Bloomfield on it,
which
is quite an addition to the band.
And Al Cooper.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, and I just listened to an Al Cooper record yesterday, and it had him as an old man on the cover. At first, I was like, "Oh, this must be something he did later on." And then I looked inside, and it was 1972, and I was like, "No, it's not." And there was a song about the future, and how there was so much hate in the world right now in 1972, and it was kind of comical to me that he thought that at that time it was.
Well, there was a lot of protests, going on.
Well, but now we can't even protest, right? That's the only thing. I can't get political.
I'm not going there. I'm apolitical.
But what do you think of the music? Let's get into the. You remember this?
Well, yeah, but compared to the self-titled Moby Grape on Columbia, the first one, this is pales.
Pales.
And what it was is all, I think, outtakes from them when they were in New York recording the first album, and then the same producer had them jam and everything else, and tried to get a package. And what it was is he put two albums together, wrapped them together, and sold it.
Yeah, you're spot on.
And he was hoping that the popularity of the first album would carry over. Somewhat.
You're getting a bonus. You're getting a bonus here.
Yeah.
And it says right off the bat, the music in this album just happened at various odd hours all through the session for the real album. So yeah, it's kind of jams that you get as a bonus. But a lot of times I'm a guy that likes jams. I enjoy listening to jams. I know there's one with the Allman Brothers at some club. I think it's some garage, right? And it's just a jam. But great jam, and I think a lot of times when you like Cooper sessions, the Super sessions, a lot of that's kind of just jam, but it's great. So
Well, this would not fall into. This falls into maybe average to good.
average good jams. Okay.
You probably won't be seeking this one out.
Okay,
There's
all
a
right.
lot of things that are a higher priority than that.
Well, when you mentioned that, right next to it,
There
I
it
had,
is, there
had
it
the,
is.
the
And-
one you're.
And you have it on Columbia, not the one that went to the reissues of which were on San Francisco Music. Let me see that cover again.
Hell, it might. I don't. Yeah.
See, it's got the finger.
Oh yeah. It's
Got the finger, and I believe the American flag was taken out too. Do you have the American flag there?
American flag. Yeah, it's
No,
blackened.
no,
or it's reddened.
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
and
it's
See,
reddened.
they didn't take the finger out on this one, but they did take the American flag. Imagine that. You're gonna leave the finger in, but you're not gonna not that American flag, not that controversial flag.
Yeah, we're
no,
gonna
no, no, no.
Go ahead and flip
Let's
us off. That's okay.
take that right out of there now. Oh,
Oh, the controversy. The controversy.
oh boy. But that's a solid record. That's that. Oh, and you have the Grape Jam too.
Yeah. Oh, I'm bringing.
Oh yeah. Well,
okay.
this is the one that has some Naked If I Want To. I really like that song. And there's a couple others that are on this. And this is the legitimate one that.
This is the real album, right?
This is the real album, right? That came with the Moby
Grape Jam. Grape Jam, like was.
No, that other one.
Yeah,
Wow.
Grape Jam. This is Wow,
Yeah, that's Wow.
and the other one is the Grape Jam.
well,
Okay,
Yeah.
so Wow is the real record, and here's Wow, and the place and the time, Murder in the Heart for the Judge, Bitter Wind.
Murder in the Heart for the Judge is a good song too. Couple. They took a couple of good songs that really could have been on the first album, and carried it over and tried to make it, on the second one here. And He is a good song too. I see they have He there. He is
Yeah.
a good song too.
Just like Gene Autry, a foxtrot, that kind of jumps out at me just because
Yeah.
it's kind of a funny
Well,
cowboy.
that sounds like an old country and western song.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. All right, and then
Now that's a legitimate, decent album.
last of the Moby Grape records I have here. I don't know, is this a live one? Do you know Moby Grape
I've
69?
never seen this record, 69. So
Oh Mama Oh. Ain't
these
that
are
a shame?
all songs that I
Man.
guess they had added to their repertoire, and not one of them have I ever, Ooh Mama, Ain't That a Shame, I Am Not Willing, It's a Beautiful Day Today, Hoochie.
Trucking
Maybe
Man.
one of those might be a song I've heard. If You Can't Learn from Mistakes, Captain Nemo, What's to Choose, Going Nowhere, Seeing. I have a feeling these are all throwaway songs. I think the producer said,
We want one more. We want one more.
one more.
How can we dig it up?
and let's make a little bit of money that's left in the barrel. here.
Yeah.
But I've never seen that album. So if I
interesting.
haven't seen it, because I've seen an awful lot,
Yeah. That's interesting.
and I'm a big follower of that band.
Now we've done Moby Grape, but what do you think of the Monkees?
Well, last came to Clarksville, man, was me. I'm ready to board the train and go all aboard. I like that band.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Me too.
And-
But I was that age.
Mickey Dolan still goes out on
797.
on the tour now alone with a pickup band and plays these songs and
Plays them well.
yeah, you're right. And people still come to those concerts and are quite pleased. Yeah, I like the band. Like so many bands, as the band got older and put out, say, the third or fourth album, which are holding a third or fourth album.
Yeah,
I think this
yeah.
is the third one there.
Well, and this other one, Headquarters, this is like the first one they did with their own writing
Instruments,
skills,
right,
their own
yeah.
thing. Yeah, they said, hey, we want to flex our skills. We think we're real musicians, and we think we can write maybe as good as Neil Diamond. Well, they didn't. So a lot of these tunes are such as the song Zilch. Don't give you a whole lot. Don't give you a whole lot of musical skills. But Yeah, they did have a lot of great songs. I didn't bring the best ofs and greatest hits albums. I think there's at least a couple of.
I have looked at all
half a
those
dozen
now
of them.
titles on both records, and there's not one that.
Well, Cuddly Toy, I think was. Gosh darn it! I think Nielsen had something, but maybe I'm wrong.
None of those titles do remind me of anything that I
Okay.
ever heard. And I listened to these originally, and I passed on them. I said, I like to have kind of a full slate of any band, but that's just asking too much. Oh, I thought this was really terrible.
First off, he says he likes the band, and then we go
Well,
to
I like the original.
Yeah. You like the early stuff where they have professional
And then
writers
if you go
writing
to see
for
them
them.
now, that's what you're going to hear.
Yeah, you're still gonna. Well, this has Daydream Believer on it, so that was a good tune. And Valerie, I love Valerie. So this one definitely isn't that weak. That's got 2 hits on it, which is pretty good for most artists to have 2 hits on one record. I mean, you can be happy
Not
to get
enough
one
for
hit.
Dizzy.
No, Dizzy wants it all. Give me it all. Give all of the hits right off the bat. Well, here's another band that had a hit or two. So what do you think of the Moody Blues?
Loved it. Oh, they were one of the first bands to bring in the symphonies and add it to they couldn't do a show without a symphony.
Right.
Wherever
Right.
they went, they had to have a symphony orchestra that would be in Seattle, San Francisco, New York, Chicago, wherever, that had rehearsed their repertoire to be ready to play with them.
Yeah, and they did some studio tricks as well. So that might have also made it difficult for their live performances, I would think. This one has In the Beginning, Never Come the Day, Lazy Day.
I would have to call this psychedelic music in a sense, because this came right after the big hype of psychedelic music. And
Well, they went through all of it, didn't they?
yeah, they did, but I mean,
Go Now was kind
if
of
you
a-
were if you were people that were going to take something to make the experience a little bit more than it would have been without, you would take and put this music on for sure, because this seemed to be out of this world music.
Yeah, especially when you look at the cover of this one.
We were. You have to remember, go back. We're now all used to hearing symphonies backing up, even the Eagles and bands like that, and we'll even say Procol Harum and other bands. But this was one of the first ones to take symphonies and back it up. And look how many members of the Moody Blues we see there.
Five members.
No,
But in
no,
here
no.
it looks like more. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've got some, or maybe it's 2 different shots. It's 2 different shots of the same bands. It's 5 players. But yeah, that doesn't mean they didn't have a lot more.
They had to
recording.
with all that symphonies and everything.
Symphonic stuff.
Yeah.
But Voices in the Sky, that kind of might give you an idea. Visions of Paradise, The Actor, The Word, Hours of Four Doors, Part 2, House of Four Doors, Legend of a Mind.
I'm going to guess that Graham Edge was the drummer. Do you think I'm right? I've seen the
Oh, yeah?
the only thing is about, he used to in his shows, they had one number where it was like do a jig, and he would dance an Irish jig, and the audience would go absolutely nuts over it.
You're right, though. I'm looking at it. Drums, timpani, tambourine, tablas, piano, Graham Edge. So, yeah, In Search of the Lost Chord.
Those when they came out, we couldn't get enough of that.
And this is one of their biggest ones, Days of Future Past, with the London Festival Orchestra. I remember listening to this and Cold Hearted.
Well, this tested everybody's stereo system. If you were going to go into a stereo store, this is when stereo stores were like the temples
Right.
of music.
Going to stereo
And
land.
we would all go in, and and have no intention of buying a $2,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 stereo system, but we want to hear Moody Blues, Days of Futures Past.
Can we hear it on the Andromedas?
You know, and they
K-horns.
got switch knobs in which they go, well, do you want to hear this through the KLMs, or do you want to hear this through the bus speakers, or you know, let's just crank this up, and you'd go, whoa.
There's an early one, the beginning, the Moody Blues.
Mm-hmm.
This might have been something they made afterwards.
Do you know, in my record room, to this day, I have speakers that are maybe 4 to 5 feet tall. And that was all from those days when Moody Blues was so big, and I wanted to hear those through, you know,
Right. Well,
big bass speakers, big treble speakers, you know. And you pull those things off, and you see all these little speakers and big speakers. And
well, my friend, he took a K-horn, Speaker Lab Ks, which are huge, and you know, they were he knew they were going to be too much for his bedroom, so he scaled them down and made his own K-horns that were scaled down a little bit, but they still shook the room, and you and the neighbor probably. That's pretty psychedelic looking there too. Every good boy deserves favor. Yeah, so that's the end of that group.
I want to say about the Moody Blues, unlike some bands, they could really pull off. Their live performances sounded just like the records. As today,
got to see them live.
Jeff Lynne and ELO, he sounds just like his records. And he really, and that band were fanatics about having the symphony all rehearsed. They rehearsed with that band before they went out and played, and they had it all together. And those there's lots of videos of them playing with different symphonies that you can get either to buy or to see on the internet, and they're terrific. They're really terrific.
I've heard some opposite
really?
reviews over the I mean, you got to remember the band was around for 50 years.
Well, I'm talking about in their heyday. Don't take
okay.
after members have died.
No. I think this was somewhere more like in the 80s or something. But you know, it's hard to always keep that level up there, and
especially with what that music demanded.
Right.
So you're going to see my side of that?
I see.
Give me a little credit for that. You know, a little bit. You know,
definitely a lot of work to get it to sound just right, and to put it in every time is
a lot of bands mail it in. You know, let's play the tracks,
well,
when we'll join in.
Especially nowadays. I watched Saturday Night Live recently, and they had an artist on there, and there's lots of times where she wasn't singing, but you could hear her voice. It's like, okay, you just play the backing track, and I'll be able to dance here for you.
Yeah,
and that works. As long as you don't catch it. All right, so that's the end of that grab bag. And
good grab bag, very good.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you extra credit for that.
All right, champ out.
Dizzy's out. Thanks for watching.